moment of celebration.
I'm looking at Sally, not the candles. And Kevin over there, I believe last night Kevin was a beautiful green fairy. What's the idea? Now, apparently Tony was being last night at the Yes. I missed it all, you know. It's all these Dutch people who kept me behind in Netherlands and in Belgium and so forth. You know, they walk so slowly there. You know, it's like they're going. They never walk forward, they're always walking 2 steps back or 3 steps. I had to cry this morning when the Japanese people met me just over the golf course. In the middle of sunny Wales, we were exchanging gifts. He couldn't speak my language. I couldn't speak his language. But he kept saying that I was his brother. Just check your pockets, huh? You never know what's happening. In just a few moments, I'm going to ask somebody to turn on the slide projector. Some degree, but you talk because we haven't got much. Okay. So is this The flame represents the kind of spirit inside us. And sometimes, he says, our flame gets blown out. Other times, the flame gets engulfed by the wind of life and it goes into a great blaze. Have you ever thought why, he said, that for some people flames are never burning and for other people it's a rampant fire? And I said, no, tell me. And he said, it's the way you nourish it. And I said, how to nourish it then? And he said, prayer, contemplation, and he said, right company. Hang out with the right people. And then brothers and sisters came back into the room. We sat down. He said, go and put some ghee, some oil in the table. And I said, why? He said, I think it's nearly time for me to go. I said, how do you know? He said, the flame tells me. I said, how does it tell you? He said, I can't teach you that. But I have been sitting in front of that flame for over 70 years. And I have made it my practice that while I sit in front of that flame as a witness, for 70 years I have sat with it and I have asked it to guide me and take me where I should go. And today, the way it flickers and the way it talks to me, I can tell that my life is nearing to an end. And you know, he was dead on time. Sorry. He said it. He said, just one moon time, it's 18 minutes. He said, one moon time, and I'll be gone. And this amazing thing happened. He just looked, cried again, a little bit more, and then the sweetest smile you could ever feel from somebody's eyes, not from the mouth, the sweetest smile you could ever feel, was that when he pierced me through that light, I think something happened which makes me who I am today, so that I feel that life is worth living. And it's the only reason I think that glance to why I'm standing in front of you. The lights are going out wherever they need to go. And then he raised his hand like this, which he always does. And he said, Tadastu, bless you. The next moment, he just went. And there was nothing. The people who were with me in the room, they just sat there, and it was just this time zone. And the interface between God, humanity, earth, and all the forces of the element come together. But that's my experience. And I want to wake you up a little bit to that experience. So I'm going to ask you, for the next few minutes, to just participate in a little technique of awakening your flame, which I hope you will. So if you can sit, come to your new chair.
Till the end of time.
You are my here, Krishna said to me, look down at the audience, and he looked at our sister from Bangor, and he said, is that Mother Teresa? To grow in love, so that we can grow together in peace. And the quote I was going to read said, follow not where the pathway may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail. I think I'd like to finish on that note and ask that, and pray that what you take from here, you will use as a torch, as a candle, as a light, as a source of inspiration for the thousands of people that influence and touch your life. And I pray that you will walk out of here with greater strength, with greater courage, with greater love, with greater aspirations, that what you do does make a difference. Set that trail ablaze wherever you live to inspire people that there is another way of living, and that is one of love. So at this point, Eurowalk team will be preparing to take their journey onwards from here. So you've got a bit of time. And what we'd like to do is make a main car park just out here, on the main top car park, which is flat, where they'll be continuing to meet Mansuk at the university grounds, to also come and have a cup of tea. You may have to bring a bottle with you, I think, or teacup and a saucer. 600 of them. But you'll be more than welcome, each one of you, to come and visit our centre on the way out of town. Well, I think there is one other thing I wanted to say. There is a conference in 1996. Well, we could stay here for the rest of the night, I suppose.
And just before you go, I'd like you to just click this into the camera of your heart. All these people. I don't know how many of you actually know how hard these people have worked. But they've actually poured their soul and their minds out towards you. And it's very difficult to actually say thank you to these people. Please don't rush away in your cars or get on your aeroplanes and fly away. Try and carry these people in your hearts. Because many of these people will actually die serving for the cause of peace. And the greatest weapon that they have is the weapon of love. And they've had thousands of difficulties, even over the last year, to put this conference together. Like the first conference site burning down. And things have just happened day after day, and things just changed. But you know, these people are rather unique. They are more than human. And it's very difficult for me to start marching out of this conference without actually saying thank you to them. They're doing so. Their own strength is just so incredible. Their own commitment and conviction is just amazing. And look at their faces, they're all young. the last few years, which makes it rather indestructible. And I think before you actually have the hope of the world as well. And I'm not saying that just to compliment them, but I just actually died for any of these people. And they are actually the things that I worship. They are my God. They are the altar at which I bow. And I love washing their feet. Try to feed them, but most of them fast too much. I think a few of them, looking at the way they're working and their age, may not live very long. What an incredible way to go. So, you're not seeing somebody who is a martyr, who is dead. You're seeing somebody who is alive. And they're yours. So on behalf of all of them here, I thank you. Thank you, Annie, Rita, and John, and many of the people who've been with me for many years, nearly 15 years, that have put up with my cheesecakes. And I really do apologize for them, because at the end of 15 years, enlightenment isn't there. I'm sure it will happen next day. But what is there is more hard work. Giving more and more and more until your heart just breaks open. I actually never told them it was going to be so hard for him. Because if I did, they wouldn't come. But here they are, they have a choice to walk away from us. But they decide to stay. So, before I walk out of this place with the torch once again to Snowden Lodge, which is about 9 or 10 miles from here, I'd like you to walk out with them in your hearts.
सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् शान्ति 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 शान्ति
boring, and they can take your mind and your strength away. And you'll find that at the end of the walk you'll get so dispersed and tired and really exhausted that you feel, what happened? The walk is supposed to reinvigorate me, and lift me up. But if you keep your energy and focus inside yourself and feel that there is a flame burning in there, just a gentle flame, and you want to nourish it, the biggest flame, of course, is there. And that burns throughout the day. But we want another flame inside to burn throughout the night as well. So during the day, while we are walking now, try to nourish that flame inside yourself. Just keep your mind actively involved in that. And if someone is trying to create a romantic relationship with you on the walk, ignore it. Okay? I mean, you can do that sort of stuff some other time. Please don't try today, because I just haven't got enough wedding presents left. But try to, you'll find on the walk many things come to you. Sometimes you get distracted by people. Sometimes you get distracted by things. Sometimes you get distracted by sight. Isn't that a beautiful tree? Or isn't that a sad tree? And all these things can take away your energy. But if you just keep your eyes, the way I just walk is to look down about a meter or 2 meters in front of me, and I just move on. And I just keep nourishing that flame, so that you want to get to the point where that flame is so big inside you that no matter what kind of wind comes to you in your life, it never gets blown away. So nourish it today on this walk, and just commit this little walk to a very powerful cause and a very powerful purpose in your life, which is basically your awakening. On the poster of the Life Euro Walk, it says you can change the world. But try to remember that you actually want to change yourself first. So here, this walk dedicated to yourself, and as you grow and blossom in that spirit, you will find that everybody else will feel the radiance without any actions or any words. So thank you for joining us, and come on. happy, okay? Speak loud a little bit, all of you.
Got it. But what you're missing. There isn't any more. You can have this.
It's a very beautiful story about St. Francis. I'm sure you all know of St. Francis. It said that one day he was walking down away from Assisi with his brothers, and he had 2 or 3 brothers with him who had ordained with him, and like this. Okay, they heard some bells like this, and so some of the brothers said, "Oh, the bells are coming from that direction. Let us go this way." Because people who were ringing the bells were lepers. So some of these brothers didn't want to go and touch the lepers or work with them, because they were frightened. So St. Francis said, no. If we try and change the direction and go the other road, the lepers will come that way as well. Because God never lets you get away with anything. And so Francis said, we must go the way in which the bells are ringing. So they went in the direction where the bells were ringing. And surely enough, there were 2 or 3 lepers coming along. And one leper said to him, who was really full of pus and blood and everything, he said, please, will you take me with you? And everybody said, no, we don't want to take you with you. You don't look very nice. Your state is not very good. So Francis said, of course we will. The brother said no, but he said we should. So they put this leper in a cloth, in a big brown cloth, and just tried to carry him. But he was so heavy, this leper was so heavy, that it took about 3 or 4 months to carry him. And eventually, when they arrived at their destination, it is said that they opened the cloth and there was nobody in it. And Francis said to his brothers that night that that was the visit of the Lord to all of us. So my parents always used to say that even when you meet a little caterpillar like this, you don't know, but it could be the creation of God. It is the creation of God. So we should pay respect to all living beings as much as possible. So when you're meeting people in the streets or in the country lanes like this, even these people, the magnificent 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, yeah, the magnificent 7, they probably aren't a crew, they actually don't exist. They're just angels, just disguised to pretend for us. And so they're just here to kind of pester us, you know. So they're really God's creatures, all of them are. So we should treat them with all respect, you know. And if you go behind them, you will see beautiful wings. But they hide them under their clothes very carefully. Yes. So be incredibly aware who you meet on a walk, because it is just the creation of God, the creatures of God. And if you start seeing everybody with that creation, that feeling, then you will find that you will not walk with a sense of fear. Because fear is the root cause of everything. You will not walk with fear, and you will not walk with a feeling of separation. You will meet everybody as brothers and sisters. One day I hope that you'll be able to see the videos of many of the people we met on our walk. And people were just crying when you stopped and gave them a present or a gift. You just give them something out of your pouch and say, this is a Bohemian crystal for you. And I always kept some crystals with me and I gave it to them. And the lady said, the last time I received a gift like this was 40 years ago. When I was walking with Chris, here he is, in Amarnath in northern Kashmir, many of my friends who were walking with me said we can't walk anymore, so they gave up. And we were about 14,000 feet up in these mountains near a place called the Amarnath Caves, which is the ice temple. And they said they were finding it difficult. And we were on these beautiful cliff edges, and round the corner of the cliff came a man. When these brothers were arguing, some of the friends who'd come with me, that they couldn't walk, a man came who didn't have any legs, and he'd climbed that far just on his hands, and he had beautiful leather pouches on his hands, and he was just climbing up slowly, bit by bit. So I looked at them, and these brothers who were arguing said, all right, enough, we'll walk. So life is like that, and God sends all sorts of things just to inspire you. So please don't ever give up on what you're doing like this. Just keep marching on. Very nice for me. Wonderful. Nice, huh? So close to home.
I mean, how come you walk so fast? You're not seeing anything. How do you stop and talk to people?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's good. You have little cards all the way across through.
It's good to get out.
Yeah.
We know the route and whole.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
So one catches the other four don't stop.
Because if you're
And the
all
next
racing
one's
on, I couldn't imagine how long it take.
No, we all stop.
So
if you stagger to the yard, like in one place we had there were about 4 fish. So each one got one in turn. That's how we circulation. And then everybody gets stopped. And then if you go too far ahead and there's nobody behind, then you just wait until you see a person about 5 yards behind. Yeah, for a little bit fun. But in Poland, everybody just welcomes.
Where?
Near our center in Pilsner. Yeah, if you want to come, there's an arrangement for 5 few days. Yeah.
yes, yes, the gentleman there, he's
Is that the best?
it is.
Well, I really enjoyed it.
Can you read? Yeah.
On top of the van.
Home first. I got back first. Oh, well done.
Where did you put the tree? My father used to say about an old man was found planting mango trees in our village. You kind of see the fruits of them, you'll be long dead and gone. And he said, I'm planting these trees not for me, but for generations to come, so they can have the fruits of them. So if all of us just take it as a worship that we plant something and look after it, so that people coming after us can get the fruits from it and swing and play from it. And say, my daddy planted that. What a lovely feeling. But they'll remember it. Sincere and eternal thanks for stopping on all the way and offering prayers at different places and doing a backward walk as well as a forward walk for the camera crew and everybody else. And I just pray that you'd be able to take, I mean, that young man over there, I don't know what his name is, but he said thank you. What's your name?
Philip.
Philip said, I haven't met Philip before, but he came up to me this morning and he said, thank you for starting this work in Wales, he said. In fact, he said, thank you for carrying the Welsh flag. Are you Welsh?
Yes.
Yeah. That's lovely. It's such a sweet thing to say that he said, thank you for carrying the Welsh flag. And everywhere in Poland, Czechoslovakia, Welsh people are really famous now. The only difference is they all think they got a good suntan. They think all Welsh people have got this lovely suntan. They can walk a lot. And they really can sing and say things in Sanskrit and African languages and everything. So you got a lot to live up to. But he said such a lovely thing after this morning presentation. He said, thank you for carrying the Welsh flag. You know, what a lovely thing to do. And he says, thank you for taking residence in Wales, because it's such a beautiful country. And I totally agree with you. Absolutely, totally. And, you know, and just spread that love as all of us have to. Thank you all for coming. I'm not sure what your itinerary is. No. No, and I carry on for a long time, but I want you to have a bit of rest and break for them. Please make yourself at home. Annie.
Can we welcome you to Snowden Lodge? It's a great honour to have the conference continue here. I think you're well deserving it. So, at your leisure, if you want to sit, please sit. But if you'd like to come and have a drink of juice, come and have a drink and come and nurture and nourish yourselves. Thank you.